Hello, and welcome back to Rosewater.
Howdy? I sound better now.
Yes, Mott's does sound better now.
I'm not dying anymore. I'm fine.
Yeah. We're currently in a traveling show, like a theater troupe.
Yes.
And they're terrible.
They're bad.
They're so bad.
Maybe they could get better.
Yeah, I mean, like, they really only have up to go.
They can only go up from here.
Yeah.
This old lady, she said that they were better before, and then they kind of, is it that they've kind of fallen off, or is it that, like, they don't have the motivation because their pay keeps getting cut?
I think it's kind of a bit of both. Like, she suspects that the leader of, like, the show, Hitome, is embezzling money.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, they aren't seeing the financial success that they did before.
Yeah. And we're a little sus of that simply because we saw that newspaper.
Yeah, we have a newspaper that
kind of
just like,
otherwise.
Oh yeah, they're awful.
Yeah.
We might show that to her.
Yeah. I mean, again, not that it's not possible that, she is embezzling money. We don't know. We just don't have the clues.
Yeah, we've
just
talked to two
this one.
people.
We've talked to two people and they're very biased.
Yeah. In opposite directions, too.
Got two very different pictures here.
So let's take a look around. Take
that fucking bottle away from her.
Mrs. Davies seems quite fond of this stuff. A few books and a collection of wax cylinders in that box. A poster for some show I've never heard of called The Dissembling Mechanism. Apparently it opened on New Year's Day.
Oh, that's interesting. What's in the box?
Let's see. There are a few wax cylinders here.
Okay. Well, we don't know any...
Okay, interesting.
So that's definitely, their music.
Okay, yeah. And we could take that bottle.
We could take the bottle from her.
Nadine,
Nothing to
what
say,
do you think?
really.
Never mind.
Okay, well, we'll hold off on stealing her alcohol for now.
Okay. For now, we'll be back for that bottle.
Yeah.
A cylindrograph. It's for playing music on wax cylinders.
Okay, so we could play music here.
Yeah.
Maybe we're supposed to get her riled up so she can come back out? Like, really
that makes
pump
sense.
her up?
That we need to figure out what to play.
Yeah.
What's in this tent? Okay. Looks like this
The
might
desk
be
is covered in papers. Lots of notes.
Hitome's kind
Yeah,
of
this
tent,
might just
you
be.
know.
What a mess. Most of these seem to be show notes. Here's a list of names. Othello, Carondelet, Dissembling, Delphi. Wonder what that means.
Okay.
Okay, Othello is a play.
Yeah.
So I'd assume the other ones are also plays.
Would make sense.
There's a poster for Carondelet here, and there was one for disseminating or dissembling back in...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and there's the
It's
mystery
a
of
poster for
Delphi.
a musical show called Carondelet. It opened on June 2nd. Must be one of Miss Hitome's previous shows. A poster for The Mystery at Delphi. Opened on November 6th. The actor's life doesn't seem to allow for much in the way of comfort. A traveling trunk. Looks like it's been quite a few places.
Snoopy Snoop.
Okay.
Oh.
The hat does make me think this is Hitome.
Yeah.
A brass button. All sorts of costumes, fake beards, and other theatrical accessories. A pair of leather boxing gloves.
And we could take them, but I don't see any reason we would.
If my eyes don't deceive me, that's a false compartment. Just need to figure out how to open it.
It's definitely one of these buttons.
Do we press every button? Do you think there's a clue somewhere?
A brass button. No way I can force it open.
I'd assume there's probably a code, likely.
Makes sense.
Hang on, so...
What a mess. Most of these seem to be show notes. Here's a list of names. Othello, Carondelet, Dissembling, Delphi. Wonder what that means.
Thinking
Carondelet.
dates. Dissembling
Dissembling.
Delphi.
Delphi was...
A poster for the Mystery at Delphi. Opened on November 6th. It's a poster for a musical show called Carondelet. It opened on June 2nd.
June 2nd.
A poster for some show I've never heard of called the Dissembling Mechanism. Apparently it opened on New Year's Day.
Okay.
Yeah, go that way.
Let's go check in on the boys. See how they're doing.
Danny's with the guy I believe was said to be kind of shy, so
Yeah.
that tracks.
This must be Dwayne then,
Ah, cool.
I assume?
I think so.
Yes.
I don't know for sure.
The other, Quentin Ellis is the,
The guy who's dressed as a wizard?
yeah, I think he's the one that's dressed like a wizard. I think he's the one that's been to Europe, and has a bit of a rivalry with Faye.
Yeah, a friendly rivalry.
Yeah.
No mistaking who this wagon belongs to. That thing's been through the ringer a few times. Suppose being an actor requires a certain attention to one's physique. Hey, Danny?
Yes, Harley.
You fellas talking about anything interesting?
Dwayne's showing me his stunt swordplay. He's supposed to battle the dragon at the end of the play. I've tried giving him a few pointers, but it's not going so great.
What did you think of the show?
Well, I'll put it this way. If one of Jake's shows went that way, I'd be looking for another job.
Talk to you later, Danny.
See you.
Ouch.
Hey there.
Danny's just like,
Oh, hello.
So, do you think Miss Atome's embezzling the Troupe's money?
What are you doing with that sword?
Practicing for the show. I didn't get to do my big fight scene with the dragon.
That sword seems to be giving you some trouble.
Yeah, I'm having a tough time getting the hang of it. The balance on this thing is terrible, and I'm always afraid of breaking it. I never liked working with prop weapons. But as long as we're doing medieval romances, I guess I'm stuck with this sword.
Maybe. Don't do a medieval romance. Wild thought.
How did you end up on board with this crew?
Oh, I met Miss Hitomi and Mr. Ellis back east when they passed through my town in Appalachia. Snuck out of the house to see the show. I went backstage after to ask if I could audition to join. Miss Hitomi said no. So, after they packed up for the night, I stowed away in the wagon. Rode halfway to La Roche before they found me. That was when my real audition happened. Mr. Ellis spoke up for me. He said, "Now, Katie, my dear, you would be a bloody fool to leave the lad behind after a performance like that."
What were you doing before joining this troupe?
Working on my parents' farm. It was a rough life. It wasn't much to my liking. No glamour, no surprise, no fun, no opportunity to meet anyone interesting. And my father was very strict. All he wanted was for me to marry our neighbor's daughter so I would inherit his land and grow our family's holdings. Eventually, I realized I would die if I stayed any longer. My soul would die anyway, so I left.
Well,
How did you know you wanted to act?
I always
I know I
liked
didn't want
listening
to
to other
farm.
people, hearing how they talked. Used to practice in front of a mirror and try to imitate them. Sometimes I'd dress up to get the look just right. Ma didn't like that much.
Okay, so we might be able to give him the boxing gloves. We
Yeah.
could box the dragon.
Box the dragon.
What do you think of your fellow troop members?
Some days I hate them. Most days I love them. And any day, I would die for them. We're a strange little family, you know? Mr. Ellis and Miss Hitomi are a squabbling ma and pa. Dear boy, you must make more time for yourself. There are too few hours in the day as it is. Oh, leave the boy alone, Quentin. He can decide how to spend his time. And Miss Davies is our busybody aunt. Are you comfortable? Have you got everything you need? Is that costume too itchy?
So that would make Martina like your sister?
No, not quite.
Are you sweet on Martina?
With all due respect, that's none of your concern, ma'am.
You
Where
are-
did any of that come from? Did I miss something?
Let's see. Harley said, like, oh, that would make Martina like your sister. And he was like, no. So Harley's like, oh, you must like her then. And he's like, that's none of your business, woman I just met. You're a pretty good mimic, though.
Say, you're good at imitating other people.
Oh, thanks. It's always been kind of a specialty of mine. Used to get me in a lot of trouble back home. So I only do it for laughs nowadays.
Okay, so he's got mimicry.
Yeah. He's got mimicry, needs a different weapon. Could be some boxing gloves. What are your thoughts on embezzlement?
What do you think about embezzlement?
I've heard a rumor that Miss Hitomi might be keeping some extra funds. Know anything about that?
Oh, sure, I've heard that rumor too, but I don't much believe it. Miss Hitomi takes good care of us. She'd never cheat us out of our earnings.
Thanks. You can get back to your training.
Thanks, ma'am.
Okay. He's got a very positive outlook on everything.
Yeah.
Ah, one of your companions has decided to join us.
This is Harley Leger. She used to be a performer of sorts herself, you know.
You don't say. What sort?
I was a fighter. Not sure that really counts.
My dear, if an audience paid money to come see you, that counts as performing in my book. I'm Quentin Ellis, by the by. Delighted to make your acquaintance.
Likewise.
Okay, last part of
Quentin
our code.
Ellis is Othello, premiering October 7th.
So likely 7216 would be the code. Right. Because I don't think there are 11 buttons.
Hey, Jake.
Yeah, Harley?
You seem quite at home among these performers.
Sure. These are my kind of people. Old Quentin and I have been trading tales about life in showbiz. You ought to stick around and have a listen. You might learn something.
So Jake, what were your thoughts on the show?
How did you find the show?
Well, there's definitely room for improvement.
I'll just be on my way.
Shall we talk to Quentin?
Let's take a gander around first.
Mr. Ellis seems rather versatile. Lots of notes and sketches of different costumes and disguises. That is quite a lot of makeup. Could I have a moment,
Okay.
Mr. Ellis?
Of course, my dear.
Just how long have you been a part of this troupe?
Why, since before its inception. That is to say, Kate and I have known each other since well before this incarnation of the troupe was formed. We met in Paris, you see, back in 27.
Okay.
Alright.
What did you do before joining the troupe?
I was classically trained at the York Theatrical Academy. I performed all over England before decamping for the continent. When I met Katie, I was touring Europe playing before the crowned heads. Why, my performance as Othello received a standing ovation from Archduke Hubert of Austria.
Well,
What drew you to the stage?
Ah, the eternal question. What drew you to the ring?
Money. Found out my tolerance for pain was higher than my tolerance for hunger.
I see. An empty belly is a demanding muse indeed. For me, it was love of the art. I was born with it.
Paris, you say? What was that like?
Ah, those were the days. Wild and carefree. We found welcome from a public receptive to our more experimental forays. Nothing like the audiences you find here, mind. Dusty farmers and unlettered cowpokes, the lot of them.
I think I'm starting to see where some of the problem's coming from.
You think so?
Yes. They're trying to perform the wrong things for the audience.
Yeah.
I'd like to know about the others in your troupe.
Fishing for nasty gossip, are we? Unless you have a couple of glasses and a bottle or two of very good liquor stashed somewhere about your person, you won't be getting any of that from me. Truly, they are good people, and I cherish every one of them.
So we can get
We
liquor.
rely on one
Yeah.
another. Granted, we have our occasional quarrels, but what family doesn't? It's true that none of them have my training and decades of stage experience, so naturally they look to me for guidance and mentorship.
I heard a rumor that Miss Hitomi might be misappropriating the troupe's funds.
Poppycock, pure hearsay. I'll bet Faye put that poison in your mind. I have known Katie longer than anyone. She is many things, but never a thief.
Appreciate the chat.
The pleasure was all mine, dear.
So we still have the newspaper we can share with people. Should we share the newspaper? Should we try and get him some alcohol? Should we go try and open that compartment? Should we go talk to Hitomi? Because we still haven't talked to her.
Let's talk to Hitomi. Hitomi. Is it me or May?
I don't remember. We'll go talk to Katie.
Talk to Katie. Ah, Phil.
Yeah.
Not terrible as far as props go, but it could use some extra oomph. I bet Jake wishes his show's backdrop was half as realistic. Phil?
Harley?
What was your opinion of the performance?
It was not to my taste. However, with some improvements, it could be entertaining.
Alright, see you later.
Okay.
Miss Hitomi,
Yes?
Me.
Me.
what do you think would make the show better?
God, where do I begin? Faye's in a black mood. Quentin thinks his character lacks depth. Martina's unintelligible. And Dwayne's swordplay doesn't even rise to the level of farce. And naturally, theater's all about imagination. But with the quality of our set and props, I fear we are asking rather too much of our audience in that department. I'm this close to packing it all in.
Okay. A lot of these things I think are pretty quick to remedy.
Yeah.
We literally have somebody that can mimic voices. So,
Yeah.
like, Martina could be essentially dubbed,
Yeah.
you know, by Dwayne.
Yeah. Dwayne could dub Martina.
When did you put this troupe together?
As it exists now? Oh, it's been about 5 years, I should say. That's when Quentin and I came over to Vespuccia.
So many questions.
What were you doing before starting this troupe?
I spent some time in London, then went traveling around Europe doing this and that. Until I met Quentin.
Are
Have
you
you
an
performed
actress?
yourself, or do you stay out of the spotlight?
Me? Oh no, I haven't been on stage since Paris. Quentin and I used to do a little magic show, if you can believe it.
No fooling?
It was a very long time ago. Not worth remembering, honestly.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to hear about your cast.
Oh, they all have their talents. They wouldn't be in my troupe otherwise. But I don't hold with talking about people behind their backs. Why don't you get to know them yourself?
What's wrong with Quentin's character?
Not a thing! Everyone loves to hate the evil wizard. He's a guaranteed crowd pleaser. But Quentin thinks the role lacks depth. That his talents as an actor, and they are considerable, are going to waste. And yes, perhaps he has a point, but for God's sake, this is not the Royal Arcadium! We performers have a saying. There are no small roles, only small-minded, puffed-up thespians who suppose that entertaining the common man is somehow beneath them. I love Quentin, really I do, but I've had it up to here with his carping and grousing. He doesn't listen to me, but you're welcome to try bringing him down to earth if you like.
Okie dokie.
Maybe give him a different character?
Yeah, maybe just give him a different character.
What's the problem with Martina?
Weren't you listening? She doesn't so much say her lines as chew on them and cough them out. She's
Okay, that's a
sweet
bit
girl,
harsh.
And her physical
Yeah.
performance is outstanding. The things she can do with just her eyes. I'm loath to cut her part or take away the few lines she already has, but unless she finds some way to magically rid herself of that blasted Teutonic accent, I may have to.
Calm down, Katie.
Ma'am. Ma'am, I know I'm going to go steal Faye's, alcohol to go gift Quentin to get his lips loosened. I think you need a drink.
Yes.
You don't think the swordplay is good enough?
Setting aside that our prop swords are as likely to crumble to bits or give the players paper cuts as they are to make it through a scene intact, it's just not very convincing or compelling. Dwayne either needs to get more adept at handling them, or we need to rethink the whole sword thing. Thank
Boxing
God
gloves.
this
Yeah.
play doesn't feature a real sword-fighting duel, but it does need a big climax where the hero slays the dragon. How are we supposed to do that without a sword?
What can we do to make your set and props better?
The best thing we've got is the dragon head, but it's not exactly intimidating, is it? Your friend over there said he might have an idea to make it better. Honestly, at this point, I'm all ears.
Is it explosives, Phil?
Phil.
Phil.
Phil, fire and theater do not work well together.
Phil, we gotta talk about your love of pyrotechnics.
Yeah.
I had a chat with Mrs. Davies. She seems to think her position's in jeopardy.
What? Why would she think that?
Are you saying you're not planning on letting her go?
Of course not, especially not so close to opening night. What a ridiculous notion! Honestly, I don't know where Faye gets these ideas.
Okay,
So long.
Take care.
so we've got a set of things to do.
Yeah, we've got things.
Phil?
Harley?
Had any ideas to make the show better?
Yes, I believe so. This dragon head
Oh no!
amusing, but with some pyrotechnics, it could really impress a crowd.
You want to make it breathe fire?
Ah, indeed. Far more effective, wouldn't you agree?
Definitely. But how do you intend to pull it off?
I can rig it up quite easily, but I need a fuel source. If you can find me some high-proof alcohol, we should be set.
Okay,
All right. See you later.
we now have two people that want alcohol.
Can we give it to them both, or will we have to pick one or the other?
I don't know. We may have
Miss
to pick
Holder?
one or the
Yeah?
other.
Do you suspect that Miss Hitomi might be keeping money from you and your castmates?
What? No, never. Mr. Tommy would not do such a thing. Who has told you this? Was it Mrs. Davies?
Well, yes.
I am not surprised. I think that of all of us, she is easily the most dramatic.
Goodbye, Miss Holder.
Lovely to be speaking with you.
Okay. Let's see about opening this. Let's also grab those boxing gloves.
These might be useful.
Yes.
Okay, so... it's 8 buttons in total.
A brass button. A brass button. A brass button. A brass button.
Harley.
If my eyes don't deceive me, that's a false compartment.
Maybe we're
Do you
too
think we're
far
ahead of it? Yeah, I think we're...
I think we might be too far ahead.
Okay. Alright. Let's get
Okay.
that alcohol.
I doubt she's gonna let us just take it, but maybe if we play a cylinder.
Yeah.
Can I just,
Unhand that brandy. I need it for my nerves.
Okay.
Okay.
Which
Knights
one?
in shining armor, villainous intent, saloon sing-along, funeral dirge.
Maybe not funeral.
Yeah, let's not go with funeral dirge.
You're thinking saloons?
Saloon sing-along?
Maybe.
Oh, should we show her the...
Try showing her the newspaper.
My dear, I have no interest in reading newspapers. They contain nothing but misfortunes and vile opinions.
Okay, never mind.
Okay. Well...
Oh, I love this one. This was the first song I learned in English, you know.
You don't say. How does it go?
All of the little maidens go strolling along. All of the little boys come to sing them a song.
Just let her sing this one.
Yeah.
Children start dancing in line, and all of them have such a wonderful time. All have a wonderful time.
You sound great, Martina.
Yeah.
Interesting. Her accent all but disappears when she sings.
Interesting. It's another possibility, but I did not rouse Davies.
I don't want to be juggling these. I'll swap this for the one I've got.
So knights in shining armor.
We used this music for Twin's character in our last show.
I take it he was the hero in that one too?
Yeah, that is right. He's playing all the heroes.
Okay, I think the music doesn't have any effect on Miss Davies, but it seems to be getting some information from Martina.
Yeah. Villainous intent.
This was the music we used for Mr. Ellis in the show we did before.
What character did he play there?
A train robber.
Here comes funeral dirge.
Meanwhile, Miss Davies is just like, what are you doing?
Oh, I do not like this one. It reminds me of sad times.
It is rather grim. Have you used it in a show before?
Miss Atomi says audiences prefer happy endings.
Okay. Interesting.
Interesting. Okay. Here, take these boxing gloves. Try punching. No more sword. Stop sword.
How do you feel about boxing?
I'd be happier doing any kind of unarmed fighting style, really. But how am I supposed to box a dragon?
With style and panache, that's how. It's all about confidence. And I have a feeling you'd look much more confident without that sword.
You don't think the audience would be confused?
It's your job to make them believe it. They just want a good show.
I don't know. We've never done a boxing scene. I don't really know a lot about the form.
Well, I
Used to
happen
do some
to.
boxing back in the day. Could show you some moves if you like.
Heck, sure. Why not? This whole sword thing clearly isn't working for me.
Danny, how'd you like to help out?
Sure.
First, your stance is all wrong. Stagger your feet, 1 foot in front, weight evenly balanced, knees slightly bent. Good. Now, show me what you can do. Not bad. Not bad. Try not to let your elbow flare out, Dwayne. Protect the ribs. I think you boys are getting the hang of it.
Okay.
Well, there we go.
Awesome. That's one down.
Okay, at least. Still need to get that alcohol.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the
No,
newspaper?
thank you. I've already read it.
Okay.
Quentin has already read it, and he's up to here with it. No thank you.
Actually, maybe we could just talk to him about his character.
Yeah, maybe.
Could I have a moment, Mr. Ellis?
Of course, my dear.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and he used to have a magic act as well.
Miss Hitomi said something about you being unhappy with your character.
Oh, don't get me started. The evil wizard is a stock villain, paper thin, a cipher. All I do is tromp on stage and glower at the audience. He wants to rule the kingdom and kidnaps the princess, all right, but why? What motivates him to do it? Drama comes from a rich depth of character. Complexity, not caricature. I need something I can work with, something to sink my teeth into.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do want to hear about your magic act, though.
Is it true you used to have a magic act?
Why, yes, it is. Funny, I'd almost forgotten. Katie and I briefly tried our hand at stage magic. She was quite adept at sleight of hand, but in the end, it wasn't our true métier. Too much meticulous planning and bulky, specialized equipment. No room for spontaneity and delight. No emotional connection. No, it wasn't for us. Now Katie uses the old magic trunk to store costumes.
Okay, so maybe now we can open it?
Maybe now you got the hint that it has a code.
What if Jake and I came up with a better history for your character?
Do you think you could?
Sure. Harley's got the gift of writing, and I've been known to spin a yarn or two.
Spin a yarn or two?
I must admit I'm curious to see what you come up with. Why does the wizard want to rule the kingdom?
At least it's his destiny. He wants to save it. The king embarrassed him once because he's evil. Well, definitely not the last one.
And the last one's too flat for someone like Quentin. I think either the first or second one.
Yeah.
You always love a villain who thinks they're right.
Yeah, I'm thinking first one.
Go for it.
He has humble origins, but always felt he was meant for greater things.
Yeah, it's been his ambition since childhood, but he's never been given a fair shake.
Ah, yes. Destiny, ambition, greed. Classic stuff. All right, but why does he kidnap the princess?
Because, he still has to kidnap the princess, so...
Yes.
Wants to hold her for ransom. He's in love with her. He's trying to protect her from the dragon. He doesn't like her.
Okay, so one of the middle two is likely, a bit old for Martina, I think, but trying to protect her from the dragon.
That would definitely fit more with the save the kingdom.
Yeah.
He's in love with her?
I guess so.
He's smitten with her and wants to make her his bride.
Yes,
Part of the
that's
ambition,
usually
right?
the case,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Destiny.
And how does the dragon fit into all this?
The wizard is trying to tame the dragon, harness its power for good. The dragon is the wizard's pet. The dragon is just a weapon the wizard uses. The dragon is really the wizard's mother transformed.
That's so funny, actually. I feel like it's gotta be the wizard's pet or somehow the wizard's mother.
I think that might be a bit too out
You
there.
think that's a little out there? What do you think?
I'm thinking wizard's pet.
It's the wizard's pet, or familiar, or something.
Yes, I suppose that does make sense. It's all a bit conventional, isn't it?
Fair
Just
enough.
the usual tropes. Where's the depth? Perhaps you should give it a bit more thought.
Okay,
Alright,
we
go
could-
for do it
Let's
again,
take
but go
another
for
shot
like
at coming
the
up with a
nuance.
story for your wizard.
He
All
thinks he's a
right,
good guy.
let's hear
Yeah,
it.
okay.
Why does the wizard want to rule the kingdom?
It's what Quentin wants.
He wants to
He
save
doesn't want to
it.
Yeah.
rule. He wants to save the kingdom.
Yeah, in his mind, he's the real hero.
Exactly.
Oh, intriguing. A subversion of our expectations. All right, but why does he kidnap the princess?
To protect her.
Protect
He's
her.
actually keeping her safe from the dragon.
Unexpected. I like it. And how does the dragon fit into all this?
He's trying to tame the dragon and harness its power for good.
The wizard wants to tame the dragon and harness its power to serve the kingdom.
Ah, I see. So truly he's just misunderstood. Yes, yes. Oh, this is a much more interesting and complex figure. The
I really
wizard
want
is
to know what he'd
human,
say
like
if he
any
said
of
the
us.
dragon
He has
was
his
his
own needs
mother.
and desires. He is
Yes.
conflicted. He strives to do the right thing, however that appears to him. He is the protagonist of his own story. This I can work with. Thank you.
Think nothing of it. Appreciate the chat.
The pleasure was all mine, dear.
Okay. So maybe we don't need to give him alcohol.
Maybe not.
I mean, we might still need to, but let's because we still need to figure out how to fix like
Miss Davies.
Miss Davies in particular.
We've been everywhere, right?
Yes.
No way I can. A brass button. Mr. Ellis said this was Miss
Okay.
Hitomi's
Oh, here we
old
go.
magic
Thank you.
trunk. Maybe these buttons aren't just for decoration.
Okay, Mantis,
Okay.
try this again.
Here we go. And 2 and 1 and 6.
Aha!
Whoa, we got here.
Quite a bit of cash in here. So Miss Hitomi is skimming off the profits? Perhaps that book might shed some light on things.
Let's look at that book.
Yeah.
Seems to be some kind of diary or ledger. I'd better take a look at this. Huh. It seems Miss Hitomi's keeping the extra money to invest in the show. She calls it a rainy day fund, and she has a separate space for emergency salary reserve. So Mrs. Davies was wrong. I ought to show her this. Maybe it'll calm her down.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
so she's not embezzling the profits, but she's trying to make sure that they have a cushion in case everything falls apart, which is looking more and more
very
like it
rapidly.
might.
Dissolving before opening night, really.
I found this ledger in Miss Hitomi's trunk, along with some cash.
So I was right. This is exactly the proof I was looking for.
It's not quite what you think. Look at the entries.
Rainy Day Fund. Emergency Salary Reserve. She isn't keeping this for herself.
She's setting it aside to help you all.
Oh dear, how embarrassing. What a fool I've been.
We all make mistakes. So now that you know your position is safe, will you get on stage and perform?
Yes, of course. Thank you for clearing up this misunderstanding. I really do appreciate it.
Let me quickly pop out the saloon sing-along.
Sounds good.
Just,
I don't think she'll be needing this anymore.
Hey, look at it this way, Miss Davies. Like, you sussed out pretty fast that something was happening with the money, you know?
yeah.
It just wasn't as bad as you thought it was.
Advertising.
Oh, I said good liquor, my dear.
Oh, okay.
Fey drinks.
Oh,
Okay,
okay. So it's
rude.
not for that. Quentin just went, ew. No, I don't want to drink that.
I don't think we showed her the newspaper.
I don't think so.
I am afraid I cannot read in English so well.
Oh, that's alright.
Yeah. Okay.
Here, you need some alcohol.
High proof alcohol. Here you go.
Here, how about this for some fuel?
Yes, this will work. Excuse me. I must go backstage and set up the prop.
You just remember, Phil, this is a very flammable stage.
Can you imagine if, you know, back in that post office, if we went with Phil's plan, what if the fire never started? Maybe Phil's just really good at not setting things on fire with explosives. Have we ever considered trusting Phil every once in a while with explosives?
I mean, you're
Miss
right.
Hitomi?
Yes?
we're the villains.
So long.
Take care.
How do we explain to her that... Oh wait, hey, here we go.
I haven't got time to be admiring your things.
It's your things, actually. How do we show her that Martina could sing? And you just give her a musical role.
Yeah,
If the language barrier is really giving you such a hard time, you know, use what she's good at.
yeah.
I make it my custom not to read reviews.
Okay, maybe we just
That's
talk to her.
Placeholder?
You shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Okay,
we just
here we
talk to
go.
her.
I must say, you've got a beautiful singing voice.
Oh, why thank you.
I couldn't help but notice how clearly your words come out in song.
Yeah, you're not the first to say this to me. I cannot explain it. It is just something which happens.
I have an idea. Musical.
Let's make a musical.
I've just had a crazy idea. Rather than speaking your lines, why not sing them?
Sing them? That is an interesting thought, but would it not be strange?
Strange. Haven't you ever heard of opera?
But if only I am singing and no one else?
It's a little unorthodox, sure, but isn't that what art is all about?
We have
Being
a
expressive,
man
doing the
boxing a
unexpected.
dragon.
I think it will
Yes.
really bring some emotion to the role.
It'll be like your character is too pure to just say words. The feeling is so strong she has to sing them.
Yeah, I think I see what you are saying. Very well. I will try this next time.
Goodbye, Miss Holder.
Lovely to be speaking with you.
Okay. So that's everyone then.
I think so. I think so.
I mean, I'll put down a save.
Okay, Katie.
Miss Hitomi,
Yes?
I think you can try a second rehearsal now.
Really? You sure?
On with the show.
Positive. Let's get this show going.
Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a beautiful and charming princess.
How I love my land. The people are kind, the water fresh, and the day sunny and bright.
The princess was loved and admired by everyone in the land, except one. An evil wizard coveted the kingdom and kidnapped the princess, intending to marry her and gain the throne.
Hark! You may think me evil, but wait until you discover my true intentions.
To ensure she could not escape, he summoned a
I love she's just
terrifying
going with
dragon
it.
to guard
Yes.
Well, the stage isn't on fire, so that's a good sign.
However,
Yes.
all was not lost. For a young hero rose to the challenge.
I shall battle the dragon and save the princess. That is, if my dear mother lets me.
My dearest boy, proud as I am of your bravery, I worry so for your safety.
Fear not, mother, for I shall return victorious from battle.
We've made it further than before, so...
Yeah.
The brave lad rode to the castle and confronted the mighty dragon.
It's a cardboard cutout.
Foul beast, your end is nigh.
And it died. I mean, it's a better play now, for sure.
Our brave hero rescued the princess and vanquished the wizard.
Curses! My plans have been foiled.
Oh, my brave son has returned.
Ah, your highness, I am smitten by your beauty. Will you marry me?
Yes, yes, gladly will I marry you.
And they lived happily ever after.
I have no notes, but it was
I
better.
have extensive
Well,
notes,
at
but
least
substantially
we made it through to the
improved.
end that time. Your fix has made a big difference. It's given me a lot to consider. Quentin has offered to do some rewrites. I'm sure he'll get us in good shape by next week.
Glad to be of
Oh,
service.
good, Quentin.
Curious to
Quentin
know how
coming in
it all
clutch.
turns out. Send me a note at the Rosewater Post after you premiere.
Gladly.
We should be on our way. Miss Johnson has surely awoken from her nap by now.
Forgot that Lola was
Break a leg
napping.
next week, Miss Hitomi.
Thank you. Safe
She's just like, where the
travels.
fuck is everyone?
Gonna put on an hourglass if they're not back by the
did what
time
we
it
could for
finishes.
Miss
I'm gonna
Hitomi
keep
and
going.
Hope. In the end, they formed a strange kind of family, and they seem determined to keep on going. We've kept on going too. The oppressive, arid heat is beginning to give way to fresh breezes and forested slopes as we leave the
Yes.
desert scrub behind and cross into the mountains.
Hells
Onward
yeah.
and upward.
Huzzah.
We've crossed into a different terrain. That's wonderful.
Yes. That's also all the time we have for today.
How many episodes have we had just on the road? Not that I'm
So
complaining.
many.
Not that I'm really complaining. There's
I'll
a certain
flash an-
charm to it.
I'll flash a number on screen now to tell you how many episodes we've been on the road so far.
Boom. That many. More than I thought and less than I thought at the same time.
I know, right? I feel like we've spent most of the game on the road so far.
Alright, well, I hope you guys had fun. I did.
Yes, I had fun too.
I hope they do well. I'm sure they will now that they kind of know more pointers of what they could improve.
Yeah, at least they are, actually making use of, like, the advantages of each of, like, their actors there.
Yeah.
Or at least some of them. Like, obviously, Dwayne's not using his voice mimicry much
No.
there. But, between, like, him and Quentin, they probably can work on, like, voices you can do for, like,
Yeah.
Parts.
I would be curious if there was more we could have done in there, or if that was like, no, you did everything.
Yeah. I mean, we got the achievement, so...
Oh, cool. My one thought is that, like, could have told him, maybe you should play a bit more to your audience. I'm not sure your audience really wants, like, fairy tale stories,
I'm not sure if there was an option to
I
say
didn't
that,
see
though.
it, no. I know it was brought up, but I don't know. I didn't see an option for that.
Yeah. I suppose they would have to change all of the props and
Yeah, they'd have to
stage
change
and-
literally everything, and that would be too expensive at that point. But maybe in
Yeah.
a future show.
Well, thanks for being here, and we will catch you next time.
Bye!
All of the little maidens go strolling along. All of the little boys come to sing them a song.